Hello and welcome to Surfers and everyone who's watching. Today in this presentation, my colleagues and I will be talking about the case study of Powell Bookstore, which started as a small business. So this presentation will have 5 different content, including the importance of small business in economy, challenges faced by small business, what are the business practice and that can negatively impact a small business, what can the government do to determine the health of small business, and last but not least, the role of local communities to save small business. So let's start with the presentation. So Powell Bookstore is a chain of bookstore in Portland, Oregon, and it was founded in 1971 by Walter Powell, and today Powell Bookstore has grown into one of the world's greatest bookstores. However, it is not always big. It started as a humble storefront beginnings in 1971 on the derelict corner of Northwest Portland. So small businesses are important because they provide opportunities for entrepreneurs, and also they create meaningful jobs with greater job satisfaction than the traditional companies. And they also foster local economies which keep money close to home and also support neighborhoods and communities. So the first point is that small business can contribute to local economies by bringing growth and innovation to the community in which the business was established. Small business also help to stimulate the economic growth by providing employment opportunities to people who may not be employable by larger company. So the second point is that small business is important because it can respond and adapt quickly to changing economic climates. And this is due to the fact that small business are often very customer oriented and they understand the needs of the community, which made local customers remain loyal to their favorite small businesses in the midst of an economic crisis. And this loyalty means that small business are often able to stay afloat during tough times, which can further strengthen the local economies. And the third point is that when customers patronize local small business, they are essentially giving money back to their local community. And a thriving local business will generate a high level of revenue, which means that the business will pay higher taxes, including local property taxes. And the small business impact on local economic growth can take the form of sales tax and can also take the form of sales tax collection. And the last point is that small business do not always stay small. Larger corporations such as Nike and Ben & Jerry's, for example, they started off as small business and they grow to become a major player in the national and also international marketplace. And small business that grow into large business often remains in the community where the business was first established. And by having a larger corporation headquartered in that community can further help provide employment and also stimulate the local economy, which can create a market that favors the development of additional small business.
Small business often encounter several challenges. For instance, challenges in recruitment and retention of employees will affect the labor quality that will further affect the performance of the company. These challenges were cited by 55% of small business owners, making it the largest challenge. The second most common challenge is that company adaptation to market condition due to supply chain disruption. And then the third biggest challenge is a lack of capital or cash flow. Having limited resources as a small business owner is the rule, not the exception. Capital and cash flow are the lifeblood of a business, providing both operating cash and room to expand and innovate. A lack of them poses an immediate threat to the survival of the business. Then the fourth largest small business problem is administration work, which include bookkeeping, payroll, marketing, advertising, and so forth. Failing to do these functions adequately can cause problems. Bookkeeping or keeping track of costs, payments, purchases, and sales is necessary but time-consuming and potentially complicated. Payroll can be even more complicated. Business owners need to keep abreast of federal, state, and local taxes to make sure they withhold taxes correctly. In addition, for a business to be successful, potential customers also need to know about it through marketing and advertising. Moreover, with respect to time management, business owners are always pressed for time. Running a business demands multiple sets of expertise and activities throughout every area of business. In a small company, you may be the CEO in the morning, setting the strategy and the long-term course for the ship. In midday, you are a product developer, reviewing sales figures for the most recent product offering. In the afternoon, you are contacting customer and later managing payroll and benefits. Hence, time management is really important in a small business. And last one is managing and providing benefits. Benefits are a crucial part of every business, but managing and providing benefits can also be time-consuming and complicated. Benefits are key components in attracting and retaining workers. Your benefits need to be at least competitive within the industry. Not to mention that some benefits are required by the law, and you can run afoul of the federal government and state mandates if they are managed in accordance with the law. To overcome those challenges, several solutions can be proposed. First, the company should increase compensation, retention, and hiring bonus to overcome the recruitment and retention of employees as well as labor quality. Company can also change the business model and optimize supply chain in adaptation to market condition. Managing capital and cash flow is also important along with obtaining funding. Furthermore, company can also perform several campaigns that rewards customers to attract more customers. Lastly, company can also do outsourcing by hiring third party for some areas and apply smart method which includes specific, measurable, attractive, realistic, and time-based method.
So for the business practices of large corporations that negatively impact small business are the monopolization of the market using professional and public policy. So for the monopolization of the market, big companies have financial power that allows them to buy or make stuff in higher quantities, which reduce the cost of production, and this gives them advantages to sell their product on a far lower cost than smaller companies. And also mostly citizens tend to trust bigger companies for their product qualities. Instead of buying in smaller business, they will buy from bigger business instead. For using professional, profitability of small firm may suffer when the company expands. To increase the big companies' market share in new areas, large companies might employ additional product designers and marketing specialists. And small enterprises typically lack similar resources, which put them at competitive disadvantages. For the public policy, large corporations typically have financial capability to hire consultants and lobbyists to fight for them. This may give big business an unfair edge when crafting public policy. From the case of Powell bookstores, maintaining a business on Amazon platform had become expensive due to the costs associated with advertising, ensuring fee, and two-day delivery. Amazon give priority to shipment of necessities like hand sanitizer and paper towels at its warehouse during pandemic, and books and non-essential items were thus given less priority in Amazon warehouse. What Amazon did reduce the sales of Powell's bookstore. This is one of the act that shows that the company can act without considering the effect on small business.
So, what is the role of governments in determining the health of small businesses? The answer is to create suitable conditions for new businesses to start and thrive by developing new products and services in new markets through appropriate tax policies, supportive physical infrastructure, provision for training and formation, promoting incubation facilities, research and development facilities, and entrepreneurship education are just some of the means by which governments can encourage entrepreneurship in a country and its regions. Next, the reason why the governments need to do so is because large companies and firms are no longer the only economic value creators. Small businesses are on the principal vehicle for job creation because they account for a major part of entrepreneurial activities and employment ability. The small business sector is also an essential part of economic growth, and the government must help these businesses succeed. Aside from that, small businesses employ about 47% of employees in the private sector, according to the 2017 Small Business Administration's economic profile. Moreover, the SBA also stated that in 2019, small businesses contributed about 44% of the GDP. And these small companies were also responsible for creating more than 1 million jobs yearly, which accounted for 64% of new jobs in the United States. And how does the government assist small businesses? The federal government offers grants, contracts, and small business loans to help small businesses get started. Grants are financial aid that doesn't need to be returned, while loans require repayment with interest. Many grants are available through different federal agencies, including the Small Business Administration. And the SBA has various programs aimed at helping small businesses, such as the first one is the government grants, because several federal agencies help small businesses and looking for the right grant can go along the way. Second is contracts. Federal contracting is a rigorous process which requires extensive planning and preparation. Contractors must be careful when bidding on government contracts because they often have higher standards than private sector contracts. And business owners will usually need an attorney to participate in the bidding process. The third is programs. The governments can create more government assistance programs as many businesses needed access to them. One of the program is economic development programs to encourage growth in the state or region. It may provide tax incentive programs, grants, loans, and subsidies to companies interested in setting up new business in the area to promote a business-friendly environment. And this can be done in ways such as providing freelance, infrastructure improvements, low-interest loans, education, and training programs. The government grants primary and secondary students free education for higher education and worker training programs. It partners with universities, community college, and other schools to make it possible. Lastly is loans. Government loans help business owners who have trouble qualifying for traditional bank loans. And these are available at the state and federal levels and can be used by entrepreneurs with good credit. However, they may require some additional paperwork and verification of income.
Local communities play a crucial role for those who love reading books, as well as for those who establish bookstores. Bookstores provides a safe community-filled space for the people. For instance, they provide and support new local authors. These local book writers can promote their books to a nearby independent bookstores like Powell. If they cannot promote their books to large businesses bookstores like Hassan booksellers that sells new books at the airport rather than used books like the Powells. Small businesses also create job opportunities for the local job seekers, and it's kind of like two-way advantages. And by performing this, they circulate the money around the local economy, and it indirectly benefits those that are involved in that area.
That is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for your interest and attention.